All right. So today, this is a special call I'm having with Raju Kotagal, who's been part of the CX Masterclass, CX Mastermind. And I really wanted to speak to him today to learn about his journey, because he just also had job breakthrough. So I'm quite excited, Raju, to hear from you today in this interview about your journey as a CX professional, and also your journey into this new job breakthrough as a CX professional. So welcome to this Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Rajat, and it's always nice talking to you, and more talking to you on the CX. There's a lot of insights we discussed, right? So thanks for having this conversation.
Awesome. So Raju, would really be nice if you could share your journey. You've been, of course, a senior leader in your role, setting up global support functions in large multinational organizations. How has been your journey in the last couple of months or 1 or 2 years, especially when you deep dived into the customer experience? Would you like to share?
Yep, definitely. So having put like 20 plus years of experience more on customer centric roles, one day I was trying to evaluate myself, what next types, correct? So you've been in the industry and had some senior roles and worked in multiple domains. And the pandemic also helped me out to kind of go look at what is it if there is something I'm missing, right? So then this word caught me up, and though I've used this word in many instances in my career, but I never knew what it was unless I went through, did some lot of Googling and looked at, and finally I arrived at CXPA website. And that's when it caught my attention, because it was more a non-profit, association with this non-biased entity, correct? And they just wanted to propagate and build this CX in the industry. So while going through that is when I got to know about you and found out that CCXP might be a good certification to have. That's primarily because it's not a classroom-based training where you have a set of content and you read that and you pass the exam and you're being certified. But this is more evaluating your job criteria, right? Whatever you have done in your career. So then I thought it might be the right thing, and then I was looking at all the feedbacks, and they said it's tough. Right? Initially, I was very reluctant, and then I had a conversation with you, which made me help to kind of look at what this is all about, right? And that actually helped me out to get into depth of looking at CCXP certification and understanding what it takes to be there, right? And that's how the journey started off. And then I attended your masterclass, which made me how to get into those 6 disciplines we have got in the CX, and trying to understand that. Basically, it evaluates your experience, what you know, what you don't know. That's how it all started off.
Great. I think really like the way you put it in perspective. With so much of experience, CXPA gave you that platform to evaluate what you understand and what you need to learn, and probably put it into the context of what's trending in the area of customer experience. And I really want to also acknowledge the persistence for people who are watching this. Raju has been very persistent. He has been very methodical, and he's been following the system in terms of first understanding what is CX, then going through the rigor of understanding it through the curriculum, and then making sure he's also preparing for the exam. And I think we just heard Raju saying the exam is not easy, and sometimes it takes way longer for people to actually clear it, but Raju cleared it in a pretty short time. And so I think that's great to see that you become a certified CX professional, which are very few globally. Besides that, how has it helped you? You've recently switched your job, and you've got into a senior position, better remuneration. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How has CX helped you in this job breakthrough?
Yep, definitely, Rajat. So after getting CXP, correct, I felt that I'm more knowledgeable because I've been evaluated and been certified. I've taken the exam, correct. It's a big. So my first thing I did was change in the LinkedIn to CCXP. Raju quoted
Okay.
as so that itself was a great achievement to me. Yeah, but definitely it is when you pass the exam because it's not easy. And as I said, basically evaluates your competency, evaluates your knowledge and skills and at the individual level, correct. So but after that, having spent some quite number of years in the previous industry, I wanted to see where can I use this whatever I've learned through my career and evaluate it through my CCXP certification in a new role, correct? And that's when I got this opportunity in Fivetran, and the entire journey of searching out and going through the process of the interview, and at senior levels, it's just not easy to get into and break through, right? And that's where I think to me the CCXP quite helped me out because I was able to first evaluate myself. I was so confident that I know things around. I can put that in a right, articulate well in terms of what I've done in my previous career and what I can do here on this job, correct? And this job was more demanding because we were on the growth trajectory, a lot of expectation on this role. So I was able to articulate in the customer experience related aspects, starting from putting the strategy and building up the right culture to get the team managing the customers because we are on the SaaS-based environment, correct? So the CCXP actually helped me out to kind of make me to understand and articulate and bring my industry experience and my experience in my previous jobs so that it would be the value addition I bring on the table to the company which was hiring me, and that's where I see this helped me out to articulate in the using the right words, correct, and bringing that confidence and telling them the projects which we have done, which I have done in my previous experiences, and how it would help the customer experience. So that's how I think this has actually helped me out.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'm really, you know, happy to see that you actually just approached it with a beginner's mind, in spite of having so much of years, people who are watching, listening, Raju has 20 plus years of experience, but he seems to have approached it with a beginner's mind, really open to learn. And then with the kind of learning, he blended his own experience and put it together during his conversations. The way I'm hearing from you, Raju, it helped you to actually articulate and help your potential employers see that you bring that depth and width of knowledge and experience. And it's not just about talking about the framework, but using that framework to actually leverage the existing experience. I think that's what you beautifully seem to have done. In addition to that, has it helped you in your job content and job delivery in some way? Do you see the whole framework strengthening your delivery as well in some ways?
Definitely, yeah. So, in fact, in my previous organization, I was running a couple of projects which was more on customer experience center, correct? And actually, customer experience nowadays has become a trendy term. But once people go through this CCXP and CXP, they actually understand what customer experience is all about, correct? And everyone who has put more than 10% of experience would have worked on those 6 disciplines. Now it is 5 because CXP has changed it in one way or the other. Either they would have managed it as a complete accountability or ownership, or they would have been part of the team. Right? In that way, you would have been part of that experience, what requires to build the entire end-to-end customer experience. So having understood and gone through, because the exam basically tells you what the industry standards are, what are the best practices you have got, how your experience would relate to your best practices. You can evaluate yourself, what you know, what you don't know, what you can do better. Right? That's what CXP and CCXP is all about. Right? So having that knowledge and this community available for you to have a lot of information which is available, and people like you who is doing the master classes and masterminds on the it will kind of help them out to understand what's happening around, and which will help you out to evaluate what you can do better in your current role. It might be me or someone else for that matter. Correct? In that way, it helped me out to look at what kind of key customer experience projects you can start off in a smaller way and scale it up. Right? I have done that, used that quite well in my previous organization, and I've started doing that here, and I've kind of laid out some strategic projects with my current management and my manager. I see that this has actually helped me out in rolling it out quite well, and ensure that the customer experience has been taken care of.
Great. Yeah, great. So for those who want to embark on this journey, like I think you probably started a couple of months or maybe a little around a year back and had your own milestone. What do you think are the advantages, benefits, especially now that you have already traversed this path, even though you were already a practitioner of customer centricity in your own experience? But what do you think CX brings as a value add? What are the few advantages of embarking on this journey? And I would request you to talk also about, job opportunities, role, maybe high paying jobs, whatever you think are opportunities that can help people look forward to get into this career, which are truly there from your experience.
Yeah, I mean, if I go back and look at, I think I did this in December last year, 1 year back. It's almost close to one year, 2 months, 3 months. We have been talking. So before I could even talk to you and decided that I should take this CCXP journey, right? The job market, whether you go to LinkedIn or any other job website, you haven't, at least I did not see this word customer experience coming out quite frequently. But over a period of time, I've seen a lot of job descriptions which is using this word as customer experience. So it has become more trendy term in terms of having the key responsibilities someone is looking at, that it should be part of the customer experience responsibilities. Right? Now, how much they know about customer experience is something which I think it gets evolved and matured over a period of time. I think at least people are trying to use those words and keep growing out from that. So then I see these jobs coming up, and this you taking this journey on the customer experience help you out in terms of positioning yourself on the key responsibilities you can bring up, key projects you would have handled in your career, in terms of how it enhances your customer experience, or you have helped the customer experience to enhance, right? The job description most of the times talks about, even if you're in the customer support field, it has a part of the overall customer experience increasing, right? So you can still play a smaller role or run some smaller projects which would enhance the overall experience on the customer experience. In that way, I've seen a lot of jobs which is coming up on CX. I think all I would see that, someone going through this path and getting this certified, because this is a non-biased entity evaluated at an individual competency level, correct? It's not that, any other organization or certification you go through some set of courses and learning, you be certified. This is more evaluating yourself, what you stand in the industry, correct? And it brings in a lot of credibility. Then it becomes easier to look at how your resume is projecting that, what kind of changes you can do on your resume to kind of get those projects being reviewed or looked at from the hiring manager. And then when it comes to the conversation, it helps you to articulate quite well, as I said earlier, correct? I see that trend going up, where job descriptions are using most of these terms, and CX has helped me out in capturing those job descriptions and putting my resume in the right way, so that it gets the right attention, and then the conversation starts more on the customer experience side.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think there was so much golden nuggets there. Thanks, Raju. And whoever is interested in getting into the customer experience space, I just would like to reiterate in the beginning, Raju said when he mastered the customer experience competencies based on CXPA framework, he looked at and rehashed his LinkedIn profile relevantly, highlighting what he actually wanted to in terms of customer experience as a domain. Also, on the other side, Raju, you did mention about opportunities now using that keyword and keywords around customer experience. So obviously, I mean, I also want to add there are close to 19 million CX professionals. Everybody is writing customer experience. However, there are only a handful of certified CCXPs in India. There are only a handful of CX pioneers, which is a certification that we award as a part of the masterclass. So still there is a lot of opportunity for really people who have the depth and width of this knowledge. And of course, they differentiate and stand out in the market the moment they start talking about, articulating about. So on one side, you really deepen your knowledge. On the other side, you see market opening up. So it's a great win-win that way. And what I think I understood also, it seems that the market is lucrative also in terms of, there are some jobs which can be put into high paying category. A LinkedIn survey says customer success, which is, probably a brother sister of customer experience, is trending. It comes more from SaaS world, which is software as a service, where you have to ensure product adoption and all. But these categories, as even World Economic Forum identified customer success professionals as a top job for them till up until 2025. So I think what I understood, is that correct? That you can also expect good rewards.
You can definitely do that, Rajat. And sometimes I was also skeptical that after putting 20 years, will I still be sellable? Correct. So, but I think I can confidently say that with my journey, with the right skill set and good certifications like this, which will evaluate yourself. Correct. You get that confidence at the end of the day. That's what matters. And then you go out and look at the right jobs which would be in line with what you wanted to do. I think there are opportunities available, and now if you even go to LinkedIn and look at those, put those keywords, customer experience, you will find a lot of jobs which was not there like a couple of years back. Correct. And I think the industry is going towards that, and this kind of certification would definitely help people to align themselves and validate, and something which you don't know helps you out to learn, right? Or which which is in a different way of learning. As I said earlier, it unlearns you and thinks you in a different way. I think it's a win-win to each individual upskilling himself and also helping the organization to enhance the customer experience.
Awesome. Great. Raju, I also want to know, we talk about in our masterclass about the heart set, mindset, and skill set, also called as, sometimes we say iPod, which is the
passion, obsession, and discipline.
Great, thank you.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Yeah, you always remember. So I just want to, I think I see it in you. So I just want you to share with everybody else, what really is this mindset, heart set, skill set one need to have besides having the skills and the job description and the ability to fulfill those tasks? Do you want to share what has changed or what was always there, and what is important from that framework perspective truly, which is a little more deeper change at a personal level, and ability to execute it is just at the surface? There's much more deeper personal transformation or some attributes one needs to have as a CX professional.
I mean, definitely, Rajat. I think this pod actually helps you out in terms of you evaluating what are the areas where you're passionate about, right? And having put like 20+ experience on the customer centric, customer managing customers and understanding their issues and trying to put some value addition so that they have been addressed and help as part of the revenue growth becomes the key for you to succeed in life. So that becomes your passion, working on customer centric roles, correct? And obsession is always about the two ways, correct? And what I can do in career in next 5 years, 10 years, how is my experience going to help me out and take my next journey? Whether I wanted to be entrepreneur, if I want to be some consulting role, I think all of that would help me out in terms of that obsession in your experience and the certification you bring in, and the confidence you get when you make such kind of shifts, picking up bigger responsibilities, whether be it on the roles, responsibilities, and even remuneration side, correct? It helps you out to gain that confidence, and you will feel you're on the right track. Right? That becomes your obsession piece of it. That's how I would term it out. discipline is a must, and people who have worked with me and always tell me that I'm a disciplined soldier for that matter, and it requires you to have that dedicated effort to kind of get it done, correct? And you need to have that patience, you need to have that persistence, you need to have that perseverance, and it comes with discipline that what you wanted to do. I mean, going through those websites, CXP and CCXP, and someone can just give it up, and it's not an easy thing to do, right? And going through your pioneer certifications and then going through that, the CCXP exam and getting certified requires some discipline to be there. I think all of that, if you have this in mind, that this is what you want to do, and it would definitely enhance capabilities, what you have got within you, and that would help you out in changing the course if you want to do, or helping out going to your goal much faster than what you had anticipated.
Wonderful. I think pretty comprehensive response. For those who are watching, listening, I asked Raju about the software part of, what is it that internally you have to have. One of the frameworks we cover in our masterclass is iPod, which is I have passion, obsession, and discipline. Raju talked about it, but what you also talked about is, it prepares you for maybe any kind of new opportunities. At 20 years plus of experience, Raju can do multiple things, can even start own consulting, can get into another MNC in a consultative role or a leadership role. So what Raju just iterated, I think, with the way I understood, is it allows you to do possibly choose your goal and go for it, and have a renewed confidence at even at this point of a career, when many people start to think, they're probably covered most part of their hottest time of their career, right? So it seems that it's a new inject of zest, energy at even any point of your career, provided you're up for upskilling and learning. And I think what I also understood, it actually could be a jump in remuneration and jump in all aspects, including the kind of if you have aspiration to go independent or do something on your own, or attract a leadership role in a bigger or a new organization.
You're right, Rajat. I would love to use this word booster dose, correct? At this time booster of dose. Your 20 plus experience, this would help you out to give you that booster dose, correct? Which will kind of, it will give you multiple options in front of you, correct? It will open up a lot of avenues which you can think through and take up that as you build up your career and become more entrepreneur, or if you want to scale up your career growth as well. I think that's how I would sum it up.
Great. Thank you, Raju. I think awesome. So thanks so much. I really enjoyed, as always, learning about your journey, and really let's wish more grace to Raju. MGTY, if you can type it in the comment box wherever you're watching, or send your wishes from your heart. I just want to also let everybody know that we run Customer Experience Masterclass, which is focused on helping someone upskill in customer experience, also helps you get certified as a CX pioneer, provided you complete the curriculum, also helps you prepare for global CCXP certification, which Raju has acquired, and also can support in picking up new opportunities and job breakthroughs at higher packages and senior position. So it lets you help you in your growth path as well. I'll be leaving a link below where you can register your interest. I also do webinars, free webinars where I cover more about what we do. So you're welcome to join that as well. So Raju, any final note?
Yeah. So what I would say to kind of sum it up based on my experience and learning, Rajat, is that people on customer-centric roles, right, be it on whatever discipline they have been working, I think they should go and read about the customer experience, right? And then they should talk to you. They should go visit the CXPA website and understand what the framework is all about. And then it becomes easier for them to evaluate and take that right decision. And I'm confident that having through this journey, it has helped me out, and it has helped a lot of other people as well, correct? That will kind of ensure their marketability, whether within the organization, or it will help them to build brand value within or outside, correct? So I think there are a lot of things, and the entire industry is moving to that customer experience. People might be taking it as a trendy term now, but I'm sure they are going to understand the entire end-to-end what it takes to be a customer experience culture or industry or organization for that matter. And there is a role for each one of us, having spent a lot of years of experience on customer-centric roles, to be part of that overall customer organization journey, enhancing the customer experience. So there are a lot of opportunities. This will only enhance your knowledge. It will validate yourself. I think I would encourage people to go have a look at it and have conversation with you.
Great, great. Yeah. Golden advice. Thank you. Thank you, Raju. It was really wonderful having you on this platform today. As always, it's there's so much that I also realized and learned what's happening, what can happen with the CX capability in place. You're a role model. So more grace to you, and wish you fulfilling times ahead.
Thanks, Raju. Thanks for all the wishes, and nice talking to you as well.